There was a time in my life when every day felt like I was moving through molasses, heavy, slow, and drained of color. I woke up each morning feeling more tired than when I'd gone to sleep, my to-do list looming over me like a shadow I couldn't escape. For so long, I believed that pushing through, working harder, and ignoring my exhaustion was the only way to succeed. But eventually, my body and mind whispered, then screamed that enough was enough. I was burned out. Burnout is more than just feeling tired or stressed after a long week. It's a deep exhaustion, a sense of emptiness, and a loss of direction that seeps into every part of your life. At first, I thought it was just a phase, something a good night's sleep or a weekend off could fix. But the fatigue lingered, my motivation evaporated, and even the things I used to love felt dull and meaningless. Looking back, I can see the signs so clearly. The irritability, the constant sense of urgency, the way I started to withdraw from friends and family, all of it was my mind and body trying to get my attention. But I kept ignoring those signals, afraid to slow down, afraid of what I might find if I stopped running. It wasn't until I truly hit a wall, both physically and emotionally, that I realized something had to change. The first step in my healing journey was acceptance. I had to acknowledge that I was burned out, that I wasn't okay, and that it was okay to not be okay. This was harder than I'd expected. Admitting I needed help felt like admitting defeat. But in reality, it was the bravest thing I could do for myself. It was the first act of self-compassion I'd shown in a long time. As I began to search for a way out of burnout, I found myself drawn to nature. At first, it was just short walks around the neighborhood, a few minutes under the trees, or sitting quietly by a window watching the rain. Gradually, these moments grew longer and more intentional. I started to seek out the sunrise, waking up early to watch the sky shift from darkness to gold. There was something deeply comforting about the steady rhythm of the natural world, a reminder that change, rest, and renewal are a part of life. Spending time in nature became a form of therapy for me. The cool morning air, the sound of birdsong, the gentle sway of trees in the wind, they all helped me slow down and reconnect with myself. I realized how much noise I'd been carrying, both literal and mental. Nature offered a peaceful silence that allowed my thoughts to settle and my heart to breathe. Little by little, I started to make simple lifestyle changes. I learned to listen to my body's signals, recognizing when I needed rest and allowing myself to take breaks without guilt. Sleep, which I'd always sacrificed for productivity, became sacred. I created evening rituals, turning off screens, reading, gentle stretches that helped me wind down and prepare for restorative rest. Nutrition also played a role in my recovery. Instead of skipping meals or reaching for quick fixes, I made time to nourish myself with wholesome food. Fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and plenty of water gradually replaced the caffeine and sugar I'd relied on to get through the day. These small acts of self-care sent a powerful message to my body. You matter, and you deserve to be cared for. One of the most profound changes in my healing journey was a shift in mindset. I began to question the beliefs that had fueled my burnout. The idea that my worth was tied to my productivity, that rest was lazy, that I had to do everything perfectly. Through reflection, journaling, and conversations with people I trusted, I started to rewrite my inner narrative. I learned that it's okay to set boundaries, to say no, and to protect my energy. I realized that striving for perfection only left me feeling empty, while embracing imperfection opened the door to growth and joy. I practiced gratitude, taking time each day to notice the small moments of beauty and kindness that I'd overlooked when I was caught up in the rush. Healing from burnout was not a quick fix or a straight path. There were setbacks, days when I felt like I was slipping backwards, when old habits crept in, or when the world felt overwhelming. But each time I stumbled, I reminded myself that healing is a journey, not a destination. I learned to be gentle with myself, to celebrate progress rather than perfection, and to trust that with patience and persistence, things would get better. As I continued to reconnect with nature, I discovered new sources of inspiration and meaning. I watched as flowers bloomed after a long winter, Rivers carve their way through stone, and waves reshape the shore with quiet persistence. These simple miracles reminded me that renewal is possible, that even in the darkest times, there is hope. Gradually, the fog of burnout began to lift. Colors returned to my world. I found joy in simple pleasures, a walk in the woods, the warmth of sunlight on my face, the taste of a home-cooked meal. My relationships deepened as I became more present, more patient, and more open with the people I love. I discovered a sense of peace that I hadn't known in years. Through this journey, I learned that healing is not about returning to who you were before burnout. It's about becoming someone new, someone wiser, more compassionate, and more in tune with your own needs. It's about letting go of the pressure to be everything to everyone and choosing instead to honor your own well-being. If you find yourself feeling exhausted, lost, or stuck, please know this: you are not alone. Burnout is a common experience in our fast-paced, always-on world, but it does not define you. There is a way out, and it starts with a single step: acknowledging where you are and allowing yourself the grace to heal. Start small. Spend a few minutes outside each day, noticing the world around you. Give yourself permission to rest. Reach out to someone you trust and share how you're feeling. Make one simple change: a nourishing meal, an early night, a moment of stillness. Each small act of care is a step towards healing. Remember, you are worthy of love and care, not because of what you do, but simply because you exist. Your value is not measured by your productivity, but by your presence in this world. Take time to nurture yourself, to reconnect with what brings you joy, and to trust that, with patience and kindness, you can break free from burnout and rediscover peace. My journey is ongoing, and there are still days when I feel the weight of old habits. But now I meet those moments with compassion instead of criticism, with hope instead of despair. I am grateful for the lessons I've learned, for the beauty I've found in slowing down, and for the chance to begin again. Wherever you are on your journey, may you find the courage to pause, the strength to heal, and the joy that comes from living in harmony with yourself and the world around you. Healing is possible, and you are never alone.